everyone in Oxford County is 100% dependent on the groundwater for their drinking water, water for agriculture, water for food production. It's definitely our main concern to keep our water safe. This is a pretty big agricultural area. It brings in about $640 million into our Oxford County economy every year. So definitely keeping the water safe to be used in that industry is a top priority.
I'm part of the Community Liaison Committee, which is a committee that the proponent Walker Industries forms so that they can get public input. And it's one of the requirements for an environmental assessment that they do this. And by joining this committee, you do not necessarily have to be for or against this proposal. A year and a half, we've attended meetings every month, and what we found is that the things we were being told in the meeting didn't match up what we were hearing in the community. So actually, I went into a bit of research, and we were told there were no fish in this lake that is one of the most significant parts of the quarry, and that the water just seeped through the aquifer. And so by going down and actually looking at the lake, we found it was teeming with fish, and the water was just pouring through the aquifer. So there's been a lot of misinformation that's been coming our way on these committees. So we have real concerns that Opal has hired a water hydrologist to go down and look at what's going on in the quarry, and neither the company, the Camrose company that owns the quarry, or this Walker company that's making the proposal will allow them to go down. And my thinking is, if you're doing everything according to Hoyle, you'd welcome somebody coming down to confirm what you're doing. But if you're not, well, then you're not going to want anybody else coming and having a look. All the towns have wells, operate on a well system. All the surrounding farms, livestock, and farm families are on wells. If something gets into the water table, there isn't a pipeline or something that we have as an alternative. So it's a threat not only to human health, it's just the economics of the whole community. We're the dairy capital of Canada.
It sounds like in the process of being on this liaison committee, you have come to be pretty opposed to the project. Is that fair to say?
Yes, just the information we were getting and the lack of response to our inquiries, and it just really showed that this is a proponent-driven process, and all we're there for is so they can get a check mark and say that they had talked to the community, and that there really wasn't a fair consultation process. There was no response to our concerns, and so it's really pushed me hard that why are we risking this with companies that are really, they're here to make money, and we've all dealt with people that are willing to say anything to anybody, and that's the sense I had being on these committees.
It's basically the Adams Mine situation repeated. In that case, it was actually the City of Toronto that was one of the proponents of the Adams Mine landfill, and in this case, you've got two private corporations that are trying to take advantage of basically the problem with getting rid of Toronto's garbage. And in Oxford County, we have 8 municipalities, we've got about 104,000 people, and we are doing excellent at diverting waste and recycling and composting. And our own municipal landfill takes advantage of every provincial stewardship program that they can to divert waste. So we've actually increased the, they call it a lifespan, of our local landfill by 40 years.
Wow.
And so we're doing so excellent here. We're quite progressive. And so it seems unfair that the people of Oxford County who are doing such a great job of managing our own waste would have to deal with the waste problems of other places in Ontario. And it's the same sort of thing where it's an open-faced mine, it's a porous limestone aquifer, and just the safety factor is really key here. And we don't think that with all the good we're doing that we should have to deal with this problem.